Alright, bro, so alright, I like holding this better, so I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna be talking about how you can tell if your heater core is out, how you can tell if your heater core is going out. So first off, let me start off by saying, what's a heater core? A heater core, it's pretty much the car heater, bro. It's responsible for increasing the temperature, and it regulates all the hot coolant that goes in your system. So whenever you turn on the warmer, the heater, it's blowing all that air that's being blown in through the vents. That's all from the heater core. That's all air that is being pushed out. It's generated by the engine together with the cooling system, and it goes into your cabin, and that's what makes you feel warm and like the mornings and when it's raining and all that stuff. So that's what a heater core does. Now I'm going to tell you how you can tell if your heater core is going bad. The first one, how you can tell your heater core is going bad is you lose coolant. You lose coolant, bro. Right now I have an issue with my Honda. I'm losing coolant, and I catch myself adding coolant every 3-4 days or so, and I've gone through 1 gallon of coolant already, and that's just one of them that I've noticed. And I look under the car and I see that sometimes it smells like coolant leak, but there's no leak like under my car. I've already inspected it under. There's nothing like that, but it smells like coolant all the time, and it's annoying because, you know, I can't technically take my car out and drive it. I use it for work too, and I can't feel comfortable driving the car around knowing that there's no coolant or low coolant in my system. Number 2. So this one is pretty much easy to spot. Just because you're not going to see it, you're going to smell it. When you turn your heater full blast, usually what's supposed to happen is the air that comes in through the vents is supposed to be warm. If the air that comes through the vents is cold, your heater core is bad. It's bad, and it's time to replace it. That is the second reason that I think all heater cores go bad, because when you turn on the heater, it's supposed to come out warm. It's not supposed to come out cold, and you're not supposed to smell coolant either inside your cabin. So the other day I turned on my heater, and just to test it out, right, I turned it on, and then I started smelling coolant again coming through the vents, my little vents inside, and then that already worried me again. So I was like, okay, that's sign number 2. So the last one is foggy windows. I know in the mornings when, let's say you're going to work, or you're going to school, whatever the case is, and you turn on your heater and your windows, like, you know what I'm talking about. In the early mornings when you're about to head out, the fog doesn't go away. That's another way that you can tell that your heater core is going bad, because again, the air that's coming in through the vents, it's not doing its job. It's not warming up the car. It's not making the fog go away. Everybody knows, you turn on the heater, you give it like a couple minutes, the windows start to, you know, the fogness evaporates, and then you're able to see again. But that's another reason that you can tell, another way you can tell that your heater core is going bad. The main ones you should look out for right now, I figured out how to do the heater core replacement on my car, and I had to take the whole dash out. So it's just the whole process. But yeah, those are 3 ways that you can tell that your heater core is going bad. If your car is bad, bro, get that figured out as soon as possible. That's something that you don't want to push off either. If you don't replace it, you are potentially risking your car of overheating, and you do not want your car to overheat, especially if you use it 24/7. It's your only car. You use it for work. You got kids. You got to go to work. Whatever it is, don't push that off, because it will damage your car. It will damage the engine, and overall it will damage the whole system. So don't push it off. Even if you have to keep buying coolant, like let's say you can't replace the part right now, but you know you got coolant, and like, oh, I'll get to it eventually. At least like do the effort of like filling up the coolant reservoir and just checking up on your radiator, making sure that the fluid levels are at the good ratio. Just because if your car is losing coolant, you want to make that extra effort of adding coolant into it, so that at least you can go by another day until you can get to the fixing. Okay, so yeah, man. Now I'm going to explain to you guys what can happen if you drive with a faulty heater core. So the first one's going to be when you drive with a faulty heater core, it can be dangerous and it could lead to engine damage. You don't want to drive with a faulty heater core for long periods of time. Let's say you drive your car and you use your car for work, like I do. I use it for Instacart and Uber Eats sometimes, to make some extra cash. If you're out here driving around LA, wherever you live, you're potentially risking your car, and eventually you're gonna damage the engine, and you don't want to do that, especially if you use the car for work. Another one is the engine may overheat randomly. This can cause severe damage to your engine as well, just because when a car overheats, it's not pleasant. Your engine doesn't have the right fluids, and you're gonna see the little meter go to the hot. It's gonna start overheating. You have to let it cool off. You have to pull over to the side of the road, wait until a certain amount of time until you can head on the road again, or call roadside assistance or whatever. So that's another reason why you don't want to drive around with a faulty heater core. And then the last one is foggy or poor vision. Your windows will fog up, and you turning your heater on full blast, the heater's coming out, the air's coming in, and it's cold, it's not warm, it's not going to do the job right. You're potentially risking your life, and you could hurt someone on the road because you won't be able to see. You'll be like doing this on the windows. It's gonna get out of hand, so that's like a main one. Like, the windows are just so foggy, you're cleaning them and you see it's not going away, and yeah, your heater core's bad, bro. You gotta check that out. Go to your local mechanic, go check that out. Fortunately, I have an old car, so it's easier, it's more accessible, it's cheaper. I bought my heater core AutoZone just because I get that that discount, you feel me, AutoZoner type. But there's cars that changing a heater core can go from like $800 to like a couple $1,000, and removing that labor, I'm not gonna do that job. I'm gonna just go to someone to help me do that. But you could, if you have an older car, or if you like do the research, you could do it on your own. But yeah, it does get pricey. It gets pricey, especially if you push it off, like, oh, I don't need this right now, I'm just gonna refill coolant in my reservoir and just keep running it. Eventually, the car will have that, you will damage your car. So yeah, I just thought I mentioned some little pointers there. And yeah, just get that fixed as soon as possible. Find those 3 key things that I mentioned. Find those 3, and if your car has all 3, it's your heater core, no questions asked. Go to your auto parts store. Go wherever store you shop for auto parts. Go get that part as soon as possible and get it situated, because you don't want to be stranded. You don't want to call roadside assistance or be stranded. So yeah, man, I hope this video helped y'all. I'm gonna be getting to that as soon as possible on the Honda, but I'm glad I have another car that I could use as an emergency for right now. So the Honda's just gonna be sitting, it's under maintenance, but it's all good. That's why I bought it, so I could work on it, so I can fix things on my own and learn, because I like to learn things. So yeah, if this video was helpful, give it a like, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.